We are live. Thank you so much, my Francis Chilaka. As you follow me enter inside studio this evening, I kidnapped you and brought you to my studio this evening. I made sure we must have this conversation in flesh and blood, not virtually. Welcome to the show. Guys, welcome. This is Precious. Updated Precious. Always a delight to be with you every day to tell you the things that happen for inside Nigeria, right? So very quickly, we could just give us some updates as to things really happen for inside our country. Some of the things that really happen for inside our country. First of all, is the case I'm sure a lot of you heard today. Some rumors making the round that a particular judge, Justice Tsoho, where EBC then reassign Nnamdi Kanu case to say he don't talk, say he no go fit handle the case because Nnamdi Kanu they not. So first of all, the way they use Brigham from the way they use Brigham from Kenya, they wrong and all that. Say now the courts don't react. Say no, that kind of thing never ever happened at all. What we'll look into that conversation. So let me just run you through some conversations that we'll be looking at tonight. First up, no judge will withdraw from Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Federal High Court has responded. 2027, we will align with coalition that guarantees Southeast automatic presidential tickets. Ohanaeze Ndigbo.
Which of them?
Which the SDP coalition or the new coalition? We can't tell.
Or the Senators coalition.
Or the Senators coalition. We can't tell, but we'll let you in on that conversation. But let's go to other issues, right? Now another matter when you come to Lagos State. Speaker tussle or speakership tussle. Why Obasa should resign? He's not a Lagos indigene. This is according to Lagos Indigenes. That's why Lagos Indigenes don't vex. Say, Michael Obasa carry load, come on, they don't need that. Say, it no be Lagos indigene. Well, this matter we'll go look into it. But then we also look at another issue, where they surround the Lagos State speaker tussle as we hear from an exclusive from People's Gazette that Obasa fights Moji Miranda to return 5 billion naira she withdrew from Lagos Assembly bank account just few days after she became speaker. How many weeks she be speaker again? 5 billion naira. Otilo, is this true or is this Obasa's way of, vendattering Moji Miranda? Well, we'll go to look into that conversation. We'll tell on the facts and truths within inside that matter. Moving on to Natasha's case, mass protest disruptions, not solution to political issues. Otherwise, you group insists. I will fully enforce Supreme Court ruling. Rivers' interest comes first. Fubara bows and insists. And then reps demand immediate suspension of CBN's ATM charges and hike. You know another important thing where reps talk today. Reps direct NCC to block all pornographic sites in Nigeria. Anyway, landlord tenant bill scales second reading. That matter still there. That one, good. The people would say that this kind of thing House of Assemblies are supposed to be talk about. Nigeria, this report is very mind-blowing that Nigeria is the worst hit in West Africa after recording 913 deaths from terror attacks in just January alone. From terrorist attack in January alone, 913 people died, according to this report. Speaking about death now, Ondo women protest against growing insecurity as kidnappers seize 9 surveyors on site. Prince Francis Chilaka. The matter Tinubu government releases only 40% of 2.2 trillion health sector budget as Nigerians grapple with outbreaks, poor facilities. So out of the 2.2 trillion, only 40%, 9 then release. That is about just 1 trillion. Or you don't even reach 1 trillion. Now, wow, okay. Right, that's about it. So let's start with the Nnamdi Kanu's case very quickly. The Federal High Court of Nigeria has clarified that no judge on its bench stepped down from the trial of Biafra nation agitator Nnamdi Kanu on terrorism charges. Now, the court also denied the claim attributed to its chief judge, John Tsoho, that Tsoho, that Kanu's arrest and detention were illegal. So Tsoho never talk like that. Now, in a statement today, Tuesday, in Abuja, the court described a media publication credited to the chief judge as mischievous, demanding or damaging in internet, and should be disregarded in its entirety. Now, the statement was signed by Malam Sulaiman Amir Hassan, the chief registrar of the court. He read in part, the attention of the management of the Federal High Court has been drawn with great concern to an online reportage. Now, the court unequivocally refutes the false and misleading report alleging that the Honorable Chief Judge, the Honorable Justice John T. Tsoho, has stepped down from Nnamdi Kanu's case and made statements regarding the legality of his arrest or repatriation from Kenya or extraordinary rendition. Now, this claim is entirely unfounded, fictitious, grossly mischievous, damaging in intent, and should be disregarded in its entirety. The true position is that the Honorable Justice Tsoho, in his capacity as Chief Judge, has reassigned Nnamdi Kanu's case from Honorable Justice Binta Nyako to another new judge, where they no agree talk the person name. Another new judge, they no agree talk the person name. And the report referred to it, therefore, the report referred to is therefore totally spurious. The defense team should hence prepare to receive instructions regarding the case, as many may be issued or, may be issued by the new judge. Yeah, you get a lot of them get to talk. But what would you think that actually led to this rumor anyway? If this rumor, I saw it somewhere around social media. What would you think led to this rumor?
Well, you live in an age of internet. You live in an age of fake news. And you live in an age where those in government are also complicit in hiding information. So when people are seeking for information and they feel that government is hiding such information, the next thing is that somebody somewhere will wake up and make some postulations. I keep asking, why is it that the chief judge has found it difficult, or even the registrar, to mention the name of this new judge? Is it that the new judge that has been appointed is not yet in Nigeria? Or is it that the new judge that has been appointed is somewhere out of space and all of that? So,
from Mars?
Something like that. I think it's a very serious matter. But then, whatever it is, whether the new judge accepts or doesn't accept, the important thing is that let's have a closure to this case.
So what do we see coming up? Because you remember that the lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu, the lead counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, had said that he's very sure that Nnamdi Kanu will be declared victorious at the end of the day in this case because he's innocent.
Well, talking about being innocent is also dependent on the judge and how the judge views the case. We all know that, yes, he was kidnapped, so to say, to Nigeria. And that is a very serious case. That is something that has broken what I would call international rules of engagement. So in this case has been moving from right to left to right, absolutely. And so it's becoming difficult for us to even know what the government has at the back of their mind. But for me, I would say that this matter should end. It has dragged for too long, and the government should be looking at a political solution rather than a legal solution. Because at the end of the day, this case will drag and drag and drag and drag. And our court system, our judicial system, today it will be adjourned for 1 month. Before you know it, in the next 2 years, we're still on the same case.
So, but the problem is, why can't Nnamdi Kanu be given the same treatment Igbo has been given too? Well, because people they talk say nothing where Igbo don't do when Nnamdi Kanu don't do where Igbo no do. And remember, just I go come tell you something where trend for social media today. When it be like say waiting they call Error 5 son, they subtly admit to the fact say the people of Southern Kaduna were attacked because they did not allow the Fulani people to, do what they have to do. So things like that, waiting other people from other tribes never do, where they supposed to treat them the same way when they treat Nnamdi Kanu. That's really what other people would say.
Is an Igbo man. And
so that's the crime.
And in Nigeria, the Igbo man is endangered species.
So it's a criminal offense to be an Igbo.
The only Igbo man that is not endangered are your governors who are eating large, who are feeding fat. Every other Igbo man is an endangered species. And that is why I have maintained that Biafra is an ideology. And that because it's an ideology, it depends on who is spearheading the ideology at a particular time. So we mustn't take that away from it. And that's why you see when people come out and they say they're agitating that the federal government should make an apology to the Igbos. They should pay them compensation and all of that, based on what the former military dictator have said, which is IBB.
IBB, yeah.
I said to them that it's not a matter of what we want, but it's a matter of what has the government done. First of all, there has to be a white paper on the revelations made by
IBB.
Yes, there has to be a white paper. And that's why, for me, I think I would say, and I keep saying, that Igbo leaders, the governors, the senators, the elders, the chiefs, and the Ezes, no, not the chiefs, the Ezes, they should sit down and constitute a committee to seriously look into what IBB has said and begin to analyze it one after the other. And then they need to sit down with IBB to get him on tape.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apart from the one you talked before.
Good.
To still get him for tape again.
Yes.
Hey.
And then based on that, they should now write to the federal government to ask them to quash whatever document there. You've forgotten that Showore said something a few months back when he said that there's
a conspiracy.
A conspiracy.
Say now unwritten conspiracy to make sure Igbo man
and that conspiracy stems from the 1966 coup.
Wait, that is now realized to be false.
Which they have always put on the Igbo man. But then I would also say, when I look at all this, I'll say that the Igbos themselves have not helped themselves. Our leaders have not been helpful to the Igbos. Our leaders in the Southeast behave as if they're not Southeasterners. Because if you look at what kind of development you have in the Southeast, tell me, is it Imo? Is it Anambra? Is it Ebonyi? Is it Abia? We have quite a number of our former governors who are in the Senate today. What did they do for us? What legacy did they leave behind? So when we keep talking about the marginalization of the Igbo people, we must address the fact that our Igbo leaders themselves have not done well. And I keep asking, what stops the Igbo leaders from coming together, the Igbo governors, to say, we need to have a trade network across the entire Southeast. Let's also forget that, let us not talk about whether there's a federal government presence in terms of rail network. But let us have our own rail network.
From the governors, by the governors.
And then wait, build it to a point where you now say, this is the junction we expect the federal government to link up for.
Make I give you something. Why I talked yesterday concerning that train network. Did you know that in 2021, there was a rail project that was designed to connect from Port Harcourt through to Aba, to Enugu, enter Makudi, that is a Benue state, and then connect to the north, which is supposed to turn around like this. Make we even leave the one way we say supposed to enter Lagos to carry ship. You understand? Carry things and come in. Now, the idea of that train network now, when it gets where you start from Port Harcourt, it go pass through Onesha port, the seaport, so that it go move things to go across to pass. Now, that particular contract, your present Minister of Transportation have done it and stopped it from Port Harcourt to Aba. It's supposed to follow the second phase from Aba to Enugu State, then to Makodi. The people for the railroad project say they don't get everything ready, only for the Oga to call them. Then they say they don't divert them, make it continue the one way they go Gombe. Why? Because if they want pursue as governorship position in 2027 for his state, Gombe State. So he want attract the project to Gombe State so that they go use score political points. Now the point is, I cannot be privy to this information without Southeast governors being privy to it. What are they doing with this information?
Precious.
That's the question, sir.
Do we have leaders in Southeast?
Why should we not have leaders that can speak up about things like this?
Who are your leaders in the Southeast?
The ones that are leading you people now.
Where are they?
They are there leading you people.
You see, we are not ready as a people. The Igbo race, so to say. We claim to know it all. We claim to be Jews. We'll go to America and find out the role the Jews are playing. Are we playing the same role in Nigeria? So it's these are things that when you hear them and you're witnessing them, you keep asking yourself, what have we done as a people to offend God?
Hell, that is nothing we do, God.
Yes. What have we done as a people? Because if you look at it, if not the present governor Oti of Abia, that is bringing some form of development to Abia State. Tell me, what did Ohanaeze Ndigbo do in Abia State? He was there as a governor for 8 years. He's now in the Senate. What did he do?
That makes him deserving to be in the Senate.
Oh! So we have turned, the Senate has turned into a retirement home for ex-governors.
Oh.
Now, and nobody questions them. Okay. Nobody questions them. So when you're talking about a diversion,
yes, of projects.
Yes.
That is supposed to benefit the people of the Southeast.
Who is your Minister of Works?
Naumahi.
So what has he done?
Because now work supposed to be in charge of that.
What has he done?
When follow senator.
He's busy.
In follow minister.
He's busy talking about coastal highway.
We're no concern in region.
That has ended up destroying people's investments. So what are we talking about? How many governors, how many ministers from the Southeast have brought any form of development to the Southeast? Mention one. Mention one. So it's not like it's easy for people. You'll see people will come and say, oh, this man is always taking a swipe on the Igbo people and all that. But we need to say the truth.
Why you're not an Igbo man?
I'm a blue blood. Yes.
Is there people with their blood now?
I don't know. I'm a blue blood. And that's why I have always said, my own slogan is the naked truth. Let us put the truth out there.
Okay, so speaking about the truth, I told you something that Bashir Ahmed, son of Ahmed El-Rufai, said about Southern Kaduna people when somebody asked him a question. Now, this is it. Here is that. Let me see if I can get that message. Here is it. So someone did ask, look at this. Okay, so he tweeted and said, conspiracy theories flying about Pablo. So now our president is the Pablo.
I don't know. I mean,
people call any other person go pick call president.
People call your president different names.
Hey,
don't forget that the CIA called him active assets.
Okay,
and sometimes we have not asked ourselves, do you know what it means to be an active asset?
Okay, so let's quickly do this. So I get it on the screen. So he posted and said conspiracy theories flying about Pablo's former ties with SDP. Then that must mean that they have made they have moles rather within the party already to sabotage the process. Then somebody replied him and said, look at the giraffe neck calling the president Pablo, whereas your midget dad is a Fulani irredentist. Apologies, the screen is a bit far from me. And the Ina says, who engaged in industrial scale ethnic cleansing of people of Southern Kaduna for the 8 years he was governor. That is accusing El-Rufai of the deaths or massacre of the Kaduna people. They see what's in his son reply immediately. The son say, it's your stupid mother that is an elephant. And Southern Kaduna residents will keep seeing shege if they continue to attack indigenous Fulani headsmen. Now, remember, say, most times, Southern Kaduna people, they talk, so waiting they lead to the fight. And say, then they farm their farm jejely. The headsmen then go carry the same thing where Enugu people, they complain. The same thing where Benue State people, they complain. The same thing where Plateau State people, they complain. They go carry their, what did they call them? Their malu them. Enter people, farm, where be their means of livelihood. Some of them take loans to get those farms. And then they destroy the farms. We do know that the major occupation of Southern Kaduna people are farming. And then they go destroy their farms. And you destroy their farms and expect them not to talk?
Precious.
Sir?
I said, put the truth out there.
Okay, sir.
Make it naked.
It's okay, sir. Make us strip him.
When Adam was in the Garden of Eden and had one-on-one relationship with God, he didn't know he was naked.
Hey.
Now, when he ate, in quotes, the forbidden fruit, his eyes opened and he knew he was naked.
Not tell me a woman come make and realize it.
And when God came in his regular evenings to visit, he said, Adam, where are you? What did he respond? I am hiding because I am naked. The woman you gave me has pushed me into.
I'll be with me, local woman for inside that matter.
No, but you see, the truth of the matter is this: there are things you can change. There are things you cannot change.
Okay.
You can't change an ideology.
What is that ideology?
The ideology that you can't change is the fact that government is not ready to curb the menace of Fulani headsmen.
Even when international terrorist organizations,
the Fulani headsmen,
terrorist index have
the Fulani headsmen are not more powerful than the people. They are not more powerful than the government.
So what is going on?
Now, what is going on is simple. The government needs to come out and let people know what they are benefiting from the daily killing and massacring of Nigerians.
That means government could gain something from the killing of Nigerians.
Well, let's look at it from this way. I've always asked, who are the owners of these cows? They are not this ragtag, hungry-looking AK-47 wielding headsmen.
So nobody headsmen gonna go get the
they
cows.
They are not the owners of the cows.
Hey, so one person there somewhere where to get them. Ooh.
You forgotten that all through the campaigns of 2013 to 2015, which then from 2015 to the last 8 years, your former president had 500 cows. He has always declared 500 cows. And so the cows,
increase.
There is no male, there is no female, just the same.
Born.
No increment.
And die.
Now the question is, this 500 cows, who takes them out for grazing?
Oh wow! So they're not just there in ranch, but if you be there for ranch now.
Who built the ranch? You've forgotten the story about Roga, and you've forgotten how we came about your Ministry of Livestock today. These are all avenues from that the government has employed not to be sincere. You see, you have Igbo men selling spare parts in Ladipo market. Is there any government presence there?
No.
But the government comes there to collect taxes from them.
Absolutely.
Did you see them seize somebody's land?
No.
Did you see them trample on somebody's?
They rented their shops and they're doing their businesses.
So what is wrong? What is wrong with your National Assembly?
So with this kind of message now where this boy put out, should he not be the National Security Advisor? Will not be friends with him papa anymore. You're not supposed to call out for questioning and say, this kind of message where you put up, come and explain to us. Has there been deliberate massacre of a group of people in Nigeria? On your
you need to understand that you're in a country where if you don't have money and you don't have power, you're a nobody. You're treated as a third-class citizen in your own country. You remember two people were used as example to talk about the issue of abusing the Naira. Since after those two people, who else have you seen arrested, taken to court, convicted?
Nobody, only Mefele.
No, not really Mefele.
Okay.
Bobrisky.
Oh, okay, the abuse of Naira Gongo. Yes. Oh, okay.
Bobrisky and
Cubana Chief Priest.
After them, who else? Are you trying to tell me that the Naira is not being abused daily? Have you forgotten the two sons of Okoya?
Oh, yes.
Did they go to court?
No.
Did you hear about
them? No.
So
we are the oddly now instead of person with.
So you see, you have a country where the law that is supposed to be the guide, is supposed to make us behave like humans.
They protect only the rich.
Are protecting only the rich.
Hey. Okay. All right. So make we enter into another thing, especially as it gets.
So talking about, I'm coming. I'm talking about this El-Rufai son. The apple never falls far from the source, the tree. So whatever he says is something that you cannot, you don't know how to change it. It's like the senator, the Senate president's aide that came to describe Natasha for us. It is based on what he has heard from his master.
Actually, they wear transparent clothes. All right, thank you, Prince Francis. We'll just enter into another conversation so that we cover as many conversations as possible. So moving on, the Apex Igbo socio-cultural organization, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, has said it will align with any political coalition that guarantees an automatic 2027 presidential ticket to a candidate of Igbo extraction, accompanied by northern running mates. Now, waiting them want.
No, I mean,
is that subtly saying that they're not going to ever have anything to do with it? Tinubu? Yes, please.
First of all, I need to know which of the Ohanaeze.
Ohanaeze is factional deputy president general Okechukwu Isiguzoro.
So this is the same.
I'm not saying they like to hear Isiguzoro.
No. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion.
Okay.
But you can see where I say that the Igbos have not learned the politics of Nigeria. This is the same person that came out 3 or 2 months back to tell you that they are in support of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second term. Yes. So what is he saying now? Does it look like this person is saying the right thing? Or do you think that tomorrow APC will now bring an Igbo man and drop Bola Ahmed Tinubu? See, Precious, to give a monkey water in a cup is not the problem. Now to collect the cup
because that cup will till up.
You take power, give person like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and you won't go collect them.
Why? Why you not going to collect them? Now, speaking about collecting power,
you want to collect power from a man who spent 30 years or so preparing himself for it.
Away.
Is that how they collect power?
Away.
You think it is by putting things out in the news? You will align with, you will not align with. When the chips are on ground, we will know who go align and who no go align.
Hey, so that means this one we
forget this one. This see, since the election of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo, the one supported by the senators, the governors. Interestingly, Senator Mbata has not been talking.
But why need to talk? Why need to use the media? Why this can only these people in front of the media?
So that is the question.
They're even doing work.
That is the question everybody's asking. He's not been talking. Maybe they're
like Ohanaeze, don't they quiet?
Maybe they're still cooking.
Cooking waiting.
They're cooking offensala and and they want people to eat. But you see, the truth is, I think Ohanaeze Ndigbo has been too much in the media. They've been talking left, right, center, forward, jumping at everything. No, they should calm down. They should calm down. To say you want an Igbo presidency is something that the entire Igbos need to sit down and bring a candidate out and back that candidate. And they need to reach out. See, the politics of Nigeria is no longer politics of sectionalizing. No, it's a politics where you must have a handshake across the Niger. So
does that mean like somebody I had accused Mr. Obi yesterday that if APC gives him a ticket, he may likely join APC just to claim the ticket? So does it mean that he can also agree with people with unlikely interest just because you want to win?
What do you understand about politics? And what do you understand about Nigerian politics?
So how do you change your country?
Nigerian politics is all about interest.
But we want to change the country, so why should you tell that lie?
How many of your politicians have ideology?
Including your P2B.
How many of your political parties have ideology? P2B has come out and said something. He said, for me, it's not just about taking power from APC. That if I'm going to join any coalition that wants to wrestle power from the present government, it must be a coalition that puts the people first.
Okay, so you said something about nobody to give monkey what did they call it, power, but a cup, not to collect the cup from your hand. So a few things they happen, but before I get to the money matter where Bisi Obasa accused Miranda, say she don't sweep 5 billion naira for the first few weeks, so she don't become Madam Speaker. Lagos, a group now in Lagos, you know that it's been cooking gradually when some groups in Lagos have been coming out to say that, you know what, is Obasa from Lagos State? What is he doing in Lagos State? Is he really from Lagos State? Should he be speaker? But another group don't they talk up again. All of them speak up again, and all of them are group from Lagos State, where they made up of Lagos Indigenes. This particular group are the Renaissance Patriots Foundation, a Lagos-based group. They don't call on the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, to step down in the interest of democracy and the rule of law. Basically, it's because they say that he's not their indigene. And sir, okay,
they want him to step down.
Yes, sir.
Where were they when all the drama was unfolding? Where were they when Miranda? What do they call her?
Miranda.
Miranda was asked to step aside, and she did. She behaved like IBB.
And stepped
aside. Where were this? So you see, sometimes when all these groups come out to talk, I just see a set of people who are seeking for publicity and settlement. If they were serious, Obasa would not have returned as the speaker. Because what has played out is to show you that the Lagos indigenes themselves don't have people. But if it is against another tribe now, they will bring Oro out during the day. They will bring out boys who will carry cane and knife and stick to harass people during the day. So why are they not able to do that? Why are they not able to do it? So have they been sleeping all this while? They're just waking up to realize that Obasa is not from Lagos State. Please, how many people in that Lagos State House of Assembly are from Lagos? How many? How many governors that have governed Lagos State are from Lagos? If you want to face the reality. How many commissioners in this present administration are Lagosians? And then the question is, who are the real Lagosians? Who are they? I know that there are people who own Lagos. But the question we should also be asking is, these owners of Lagos, where do they hide themselves during campaigns and elections?
Hey, now it is something where the group talk, right? They say, in fact, in a statement that they wrote, they said they talk against the intervention of BC Akonde and the rest of them for this case. That you know, saying that their intervention and bring back Obasa.
Where is BC Akonde from?
At the come, you know, the Chibina in state where they maybe get the interview. So at the come, so and then they now said that intervention that BC Akonde had, in fact, they called the intervention of these external figures. They called BC Akonde and the other group of people, BC Akonde, Aremo Olusegun or Shoba and the rest of them, that they are external interveners, that they're people who intervened from the external forces who intervened, and that it ultimately undermines the democratic aspirations of Lagos indigenes. Now, they also said that the decision of to reinstate Mr. Mudashiru Obasa at the expense of Mojisola Miranda, an indigenous Lagosian, disregarded the will of Lagosians from Ekpe, Badagry, Ikeja, Lagos, Ikorodu divisions, who overwhelmingly supported Miranda. This will be remembered in history as a betrayal of democratic principles of the people of
Precious. Let us stop all this. Let us stop all this semantics.
So are you saying that Lagos indigenes do not have the right to complain about?
Let us stop all this semantics.
Why, sir?
Who are the members of the GAC?
President Tinubu in when?
Where are they
from? Lagos indigenes.
Is your president a Lagosian?
See,
when I come and I say that, let us throw away state of origin and adopt state of residence. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. So if you're telling me now that suddenly some people are coming out and saying we're Lagosians, we own Lagos, where have they been all this while?
So is it not rather late than never?
Where have they been?
Is it wrong for them to come out in the first place?
No. I'm not saying I support them.
Okay.
But I'm saying, where have they been?
That means they've been silent for too long.
How many governors, how many men that have governed the state are truly Lagosians?
Okay. while I can't answer that question right now, even though I know the answer, but let's go straight to other issues. Still speaking about the speakership. Now, the Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker Mudashiru Obasa has accused, Mudashiru Miranda of squandering and withdrawing about 5 billion naira from the state assembly's account to purchase vehicles for lawmakers just days after replacing him as speaker. That is, he still buy cars again for lawmakers. That is, remember, I said the money over 45 billion naira when they say the same Obasa take. Say na backup vehicles, now they use and buy. Now, Miranda don't come to in just less than 2 weeks. She also withdraw money again. So the only thing they can say they spent money on is to buy vehicles.
Lagos State has turned the Lagos State House of Assembly has turned into a laughing stock because it's now an issue of attack, counter-attack. These are the same things Mudashiru Obasa was accused of.
Yes.
And how far did they go?
High-handedness, corruption.
How far did they go with it?
Spending money anyhow.
How far did they go with it?
All of a sudden, he didn't do all that again.
So
wow.
For me, I think it's also part of the gimmicks. I think that Obasa, Obasa is a grassroots politician.
Remember, he said he was not going to victimize anybody. When
he
says no. One family, I'm not going to victimize anybody.
Your problem, Precious, is that
sir?
You are too trusting.
Hey,
Nigerian politicians, when they tell you good morning, you need to go outside and check whether it is morning before you respond. Yes, I think what I think Obasa is angling at is to ensure that Miranda's name does not appear anywhere as a former speaker.
Oh, so that she no go get him for her record.
Exactly.
Like a payback for what they did.
You see, as a former speaker, whether you like it or not, she's still going to be benefiting,
one or two things. This one a very good idea.
So the whole idea is to just wipe her name out of the way it was before. She was never an ex-speaker. So now, now that he's talking about this, let us see what EFCC will do. It's not about going to court. What do you want the court to do?
The EFCC hand is supposed to be
EFCC. So let him go to EFCC and petition them and let them come and pick her up. Let us see.
All right. So make we enter inside River State, where the River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara don reiterate again, say in administration go fully implement to the fullest the recent judgment of the Supreme Court of Nigeria on the political crisis for inside River State. Now the governor maintains, say it is important in all of that is happening, that had been witnessed that the state has witnessed, to protect the interests of Rivers people first, because it must be above whatever personal interest that anybody could hold or canvass. That is the interest of Rivers people. They more important than any other interest with anybody they think of at all. Now, how you see this in following the Supreme Court's judgment?
No, but
now?
you see, I'll tell you, Fubara is showing class. He is displaying true leadership.
Hey, but you invite these young men for meeting, and they no great answer them yesterday.
This River State House of Assembly members are actually showing rascality. Yes. And the mistake they're making is that as it is now, people are beginning to see and sympathize more. The Rivers people are beginning to sympathize more with their governor than these rascals. And that's the truth. Look at what is happening with them, between them and the State Electoral Commission. I think 2 people have resigned now.
Yes.
2 people
and they say they don't give, they go give arrest warrant on the other ones for not responding to them. That they should be arrested.
They are trying to show dictatorial tendencies. They're trying to show that they want a situation where they will be seen as the Alpha and the Omega. And that's why you have somebody like Okocha coming out to open his mouth when he's not even recognized by law to say that
the governor should resign with or face impeachment. Now we'll ask question concerning the impeachment. I beg no vex. So Okocha, a factional, remember, he's a factional chairman of the APC in Rivers State. Factional. How can a factional chairman of APC in Rivers State tell a sitting governor to resign or face impeachment. What thing will give and the mindset to say they go impeach him if truly those 27 lawmakers no get affiliation with APC.
You know, say Okocha and Wiki. Okocha is working for Wiki.
Oh, my guy.
Good. And then these honorable members that the Supreme Court has said have not decamped are also APC. Truth be told.
So you know, say Amehula, one of the person who caused problem that time, we make Chidi Lloyd carry maize
exactly.
for River State. So Amehula has been there in River State.
So the truth of the matter is that, like those of us who are not lawyers, we're looking at it from, more like from a social point of view. We're not looking at it from the legal point of view.
Okay.
And we're saying that the Supreme Court has erred once more.
They're not judged well.
The same template they use for Imo is the same template they're now using for
River State.
I mean, how can you tell me what is all over the place? People who have continued to dine with APC, people who have said that they are no longer, even when the party has said that these people are no longer in our party, and you're saying that they're in the party. So I don't understand. A lot of people don't understand, the wisdom behind the judgment, and then, the Supreme Court also said that the governor, who was afraid that he'll be impeached when there were no substance, but I'm sure they're seeing what is happening now.
So now that's what I'm saying. So how can this now the Supreme Court? It basically there's a lot of process.
All I'm saying,
is it that the Supreme Court did not see those videos and footages making around about these guys?
No, they didn't. They were at that point in time the eyes were closed. But you see, for me, all I'm asking for is for a peaceful resolution of this whole thing.
Okay.
If the standoff continues and it turns into anarchy, these 27 honorable members will not be even in River State to talk.
When the brigade will start.
Yes, they will not be there. And the people will be the ones to suffer it the most. So we must look at how to save the people, how to give good governance to the people, how to give some form of livelihood to the people. And that is why I say Fubara is talking like a leader. He may not be acting as one, but he's already speaking as one.
Hey, now talking about livelihood to the people. Something happened today for the floor of the National Assembly. When National Assembly members then call do something, it get the bill we say them pass, and as them pass that bill, everybody begin to say, hey, when I want to collect the small energy, where would they get to like this? So waiting they happen. No, when I want to collect that for our hand, make a look at that, go even get that footage, make I send them to you. So basically, the House of Representatives today passed a motion to stop. First of all, the CBN Act. ATM, that's what I mean. You would have to pay about 100 naira for it, right? Good. And then even so, whilst playing of that, another one happened with something that some Nigerians say or claim that gives them joy. And they come, make I just finish this first of all. This one we get to do with the CBN Act, as the Nigerian House of Representatives has directed the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) to ensure the blockage. Oh no, not be that one. Before we get to that one, the House of Rep, has demanded the immediate suspension of increase in ATM transaction charges and stoppage of free ATM withdrawals for customers from other banks imposed by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Remember, Central Bank announced this thing since last month. Say they go do them. Say, moving forward, if you're withdrawing from other banks' ATM now, from 200 naira, you go pay 20,000 naira. You go pay like 100, 500 naira as you withdraw. So how is it that the Central Bank put out that circular and then gave time before the execution of that circular and then eventually executed that circular, and yet House of Rep no talk? It takes days and weeks into the execution of the circular for House of Rep to now remember that Nigerians are going through a lot. Let's stop it at this time. Make we finish that one before we go on another thing where Nigerians, people they para for social media. I get screenshot of their conversation for social media about us. Sir?
The people you have as your honorable members have lost touch with reality, and they have lost touch with what Nigerians are feeling. when this announcement was made, a lot of us had expected that the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC would have taken it up. But they too, they went quiet. They didn't see the need to do that. And then your National Assembly members or your honorable members, they needed to allow the CBN time to get some money from that. Do you know? So
it was a conspiracy to.
Obviously. Do you know how much the CBN has made from?
Within these few days, yes.
Do you know? Because immediately that thing was implemented, the POS fees went up.
Yes.
You know, so they are being reactive rather than being proactive. And that's what I do not accept and do not agree with this set of people you call your honorable members.
Okay. So
for me, Nigerians have gotten to that point where all they're waiting for is to wake up one morning and government will say, if you are so and so age, you'll pay this amount for the air you take. So and so age, you're in band A. So and so age, you're in band B. So and so age, you're in band C. And this is what you will pay for daily consumption of air.
Okay, so let's go to other case concerning this House of Rep members before we enter Natasha Akpoti matter. As the House of Representatives, Nigerians have been reacting to it, to crying. It's not me. So Nigerians are saying that the House of Representatives that has directed now that the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) should block all pornographic sites in the country. So what the Nigerian government will gain from this one? On an increased tariff, would they cry? On an increased electricity tariff, would they cry?
They are taking away
on they comot what they call a subsidy, we cry. The only thing where they use comot hypertension for body, on I want comot for one hand. What you want I want me to do? Can we breathe?
You know, I read some part of that.
Oh, you read it?
And I laughed when they talked about adultery, that pornography has led to the increase in adultery, in failed marriages, and in all sorts. And I laughed and I said to myself, these men they're not even talking about some of them who are marrying 15-year-old girls. They're not talking about the infidelity that a lot of them are exhibiting. They're not talking about the side chicks they all have. So their problem now is pornography. It shows you how jobless
you know that they said that psychologists and psychiatrists over the world have stated about the effect of
they make people crazy. What makes people more depressed than the fact that people are overtaxed? That people cannot feed. Parents cannot pay school fees. A lot of children are out of school. The hospitals are moribund. So what gives people more pain than that? So we're saying now that the thing that is important to the honorable members is pornography. And now most of them, they watch and pass. Yes.
You'd accuse them?
I'd accuse them.
Way.
Now most of them, they watch and pass.
So now the reason why I thought to bring this is, let's forget about trivializing the conversation. The reason I brought it to the fore is, should we not be looking at important things that the Senate should be discussing? Just today in Enugu State, I don't know if you heard about that case about the landlord-tenant law that's, they were talking about in Enugu State. Where did they talk about, say, tenant and landlord get a number of days where be say, there's some laws where be say you go put and house rent no go pass a particular amount, and then go they pay caution fee, go they do this, and anybody will be agent must be registered with the government and all that. Now, housing, now one of the most challenge where Nigerians they face, housing. And we know that one of the basic needs of human are food, shelter, of course, clothing. So why they not go pick clothes you? At least now government risk. The reason why people wait they abroad, they like say they make them fast now because of say by the time you reach there, by the time you get if the house they cost you like 20 million naira for Nigerian money currency, you get only 1 million, okay? You go fit pay, move into the house. Then they pay gradually, So housing are one of the most important things for most Nigerians. Is people, it's either there is a total complete housing deficit or the Nigerians are very, very on the house.
Precious,
so are there no serious things that our House of Reps should pay attention to, sir?
What Enugu State government is about to do, or what the legislators in the Enugu State government they're about to do, is not far from what was done in Lagos. I think Lagos set the example.
But are they following it? That's another thing.
Well, whether they are following it or not, But when it was introduced, landlords in Lagos had no choice than to follow it. During the time of Fashola, before that time, if your rent expires, you just be in your house one morning, you see police with their vehicle, they're throwing your things out, locking up. But you can't do that in Lagos anymore. You can't do it. So that is one thing that Fashola was able to introduce, no matter how bad it is, whether it is being implemented or not, but it is one thing that you cannot just take for granted. So this issue of housing, in terms of the rents payable and all of that, it's something the government should be interested in. This one you're saying NEPA, band A, band B, band C. It is in the housing sector, the housing sector that we need to look at that. And government needs to come in ASAP and find a solution to it.
Okay.
But unfortunately, when we talk about government getting involved, you find out that the government we have today are different from the government we had during the times of the late Chakonde of Lagos. And I keep going back to that man. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And why do I go back to him? When there was housing deficit in Lagos, when people needed accommodation at all costs, and landlords then became Shylocks and were doing anyhow, the man embarked on building low-cost houses across the entire state. So you had an opportunity to decide what you wanted. You had one,
and that's why we have a lot of low-cost houses around.
1 bedroom, you had 2 bedroom, you had 3 bedroom. So you decide which one to take. So if you are a big family and you want a 3-bedroom apartment, you go there.
So that was a government attending to the housing needs
of the people.
Of the people.
So people were now left. People had 2 options. You're either going to take the one built by the government, or you go to the one built by the private sector.
Okay.
But what do we have today? All of that has been thrown to the dogs. It's been thrown to the dogs. That's why you can see FCC telling you that somebody built, is it 700 or how many houses?
And without nobody knowing who the person
is. Up
is.
to today,
oh,
we have not known. We don't know who owns the houses. Nobody's even telling Nigerians what has become of those houses.
All right, so just to talk about that Enugu case, you don't pass second reading for inside Enugu State, and with the hopes that they will see them through to the end. But let's get to more a breaking story where we just get now. And I say, Natasha, I put you down and don't take her suspension harassment case to global parliamentary body. The reason that they ask this is that will Nigerians really budge like it will consign them at all? But let's get the meat of the conversation. As the lawmaker representing Kogi Central in the Nigerian Senate, Natasha Akuti, wouldn't don't say me she don't answer Senator again.
They don't have that one. They have no right to tell.
Has taken her suspension from the Senate and her harassment allegation against the Senate President Scott Akpabio to the Interparliamentary Union (IPU) in Geneva, Switzerland. No.
See, when you want to fight with a woman, when you want to fight with a woman,
this is when you keep face like this, they talk up.
You need to be very careful. And you need to be more careful when it is bordered on issue of sexual harassment. You have to be very, because it becomes your words against her word. And you know that maybe in Nigeria, the people in Nigeria, the men in Nigeria don't really care. The Nigerians don't care whether you call it sexual harassment, whether it is rape, because Nigeria, we're still living in archaic times where, the man is God, is a demigod, is a king, is a man's word. But when you take it out of Nigeria, you now find out that, man, it's a different ballgame.
In fact, one of the things she stated in her appeal, she said that that her case explains that first of all it's illegal, and that it reflects, her circumstances reflect the situation that most Nigerian women, or challenges that women in Nigeria face, especially in politics.
I don't know who advised
Akpabio,
the Ethics
and Privileges Committee. Person will be said in contact and say it gets issue for abroad.
That one is a different ballgame, because most of our people in the National Assembly have questionable, they are men and women of questionable character. We can't take that away from them. But the point is, I do not know who advised them. You're asking a senator who was duly elected by her own constituency not to parade herself as a senator.
Again.
I mean, I don't understand the kind of rules. You're not declaring her seat vacant. You are suspending her from being in the Senate. You're also suspending her from being a senator. Oh, I mean, come on, this is hogwash. So whoever advised the Senate, and you see the way the Senate went about it, they've shot themselves in the leg. Because they went about it as if it's a vendetta thing. Let us shut this woman up.
Then she can't talk, make we see.
Exactly. But I feel, like I keep saying, I feel so bad that that committee is made up of about 19 members or 17 members.
Yes. Two of them are women. Yes.
And the two men, nobody
speak on her behalf. Nobody talks.
So the point is, what she did on the floor of the Senate. In the last few days, the internet doesn't lie. In the last few days, people have been showing the way our first lady, Senator Remi, behaved in the Senate. When she even went physical.
Yes.
Was she suspended for 6 months?
With Dino Melayabi?
Yes. Was she suspended for 6 months? So, this whole thing is what is making people believe that there is more to it that meets the eye.
But you remember, some people they talk saying also a ploy that she delivered, in fact, that people sent her so that she bring down Akpabio.
Sent her.
That she was sent to bring down Akpabio. Remember?
You see, make we leave all those grammar, Madam. Leave those grammar. To bring down, if they want, is it today that they started wanting to bring down Akpabio? You know how the election of Akpabio as Speaker came up. And you know the challenges that went with it. And you know the horse trading that happened eventually. So if they want to bring her down Akpabio, they don't need her.
They get other matter than when they go Israel.
They get things when they bring her down. But even if they wanted to bring Akpabio down, why would Akpabio make himself so cheap? Somebody is accusing you of something. And you're sitting in judgment in that matter.
Unapologetically so anyway, because he hasn't felt any form of remorse.
He's not telling you that he's telling you that the issue of sexual molestation and all of that brought pains to the National Assembly.
And it traumatized him personally.
In what way? Make we know now.
Well, he may have felt traumatized.
In what the time when they publish in phone number and the wife, why not talk of trauma?
And that one is a different level of trauma.
Oh God. So for me, I think that the National Assembly, the senators acted in a haste and they compounded the issue. They compounded the issue. They went to war, a stick war with a bazooka.
So that was too much.
It was completely out of, because if you're saying you're suspending her because she did not obey the rules of the house for 6 months, I mean, something is wrong.
Okay, so let's see how that pans out. I would have played footage of that, but we would have to perhaps do a video later on and give you more details on that conversation. But still moving on Natasha's issue, a northern group, Arewa Revival Project, APP, today Tuesday condemned an alleged plan of mass protests and disruptions by some groups on the heels of the suspension of Senator Natasha Uduaghan. Now, speaking during a press statement, the project coordinator, ARP, Honorable Mutaka Ibrahim, expressed concern over political actors allegedly sponsoring violence to further their interests. So if you want to protest against this, calling this injustice, they will tell you that you've been bought or you're politically motivated. And this is an Arewa group, by the way.
Precious.
And she's a middle belter. Like she's supposed to be North Central
Precious.
Senator. Sir?
Since the inception of APC in 2015, Abi?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how many groups that have arisen?
Group don't they? And now since APC come in power, now they get counter protest. There's always a counter protest.
So you have a lot of groups that you don't even know who the owners are. You don't even know their aims and objectives. You don't even know what they stand for. So you have a lot of groups. If tomorrow now, for instance, if tomorrow, I'm waiting for some groups to come up in Lagos. One has come up talking about Indigenes. Tomorrow another group will come out telling you that they have been in, that this talking about Obasa, whether it's from Lagos or not,
yes,
should not come up. So we just have politicians who have stolen so much money from this country, and all they use the money to do is to destabilize the system.
So you think the politicians,
they don't want the system to work. Because if they want the system to work, they know what to do. But they don't want the system to work.
Okay, so how do we see this, going though? Because how people go talk, say they want protest or something, and now government don't tag them as people will be say them by. So now one protest for one.
Well, you saw people who came to protest against Natasha the other day. And you heard what the woman said to you. She don't even know what they carry her counter. She don't even know who will be Senator Fabio. Talk less of all she knows is they say Natasha. Say what? Natasha. The National Assembly on its own is taking the institution to the gutters. And the earlier they wake up, the earlier they do something about it, the better for everyone.
All right, so let's move to a very important conversation because this is very worrisome. This conversation, just to let you know that you can join the conversation, by the way, kindly click on the link on the pinned post to access the studio. We'll invite you straight into the studio to make a contribution, or you call us on the WhatsApp number that is on your screen to join the conversation. So Nigeria has emerged as the West African country most severely affected by the region. Now, the region's deepening economic and security crisis, accounting for 98.8% of conflict-related issues and fatalities. This is according to a new report by the Center for Democracy and Development, CCD. As a matter of fact, amongst every other country in South Africa, Nigeria is the worst hit. West Africa, rather, Nigeria is the worst hit. With about, what did they say now? About 913 people died in January alone from terrorism-related attack. Terror-related attack. Now, this one not follow for people with BC because the ones who herdsmen attack, and they didn't call them those terror because they never called them terrorists. So this one, from terror-related attack alone, 913 human beings, about 1,000 human beings died in 1 month alone. We haven't seen our president send condolence messages like it is sent to other countries once they get any attack or once they get any disaster. Do we still call ourselves a sovereign nation when we are going through this level of insecurity?
Well, you ask yourself, are we still the giant of Africa?
Are we even the giant of West Africa right now?
No, that's what I'm saying. Are we the giant of Africa? Are we even the giant of ourselves?
Ew.
You see, when you begin to, how do I put it? When you have a country where you commit an offense, and Nigeria has a way of, we have new slogans. The slogan of government changes like the slogan of the religious institutions. When you have a government where people commit offense, and these are not just offense of saying you steal a tuber of yam or you stole some balls of onions. No, you're talking about a crime that involves the taking of a human life. And after all said and done, the one who carried that heinous act comes back and tells you, repented. You embrace
and they give them amnesty and use our money to rehabilitate them.
And you put them into society. Now, the question I need to ask government is, if you believe you want to rehabilitate them, what was responsible for them to turn out to be what they are?
So have you changed that thing?
Good. If you don't change what has made people to become evil-minded, wicked, and you say you have embraced them, you are making a mockery of the whole thing. You are not being sincere with yourself. If, for instance, as a father, you know that your son steals money from your desk every morning, and every morning you put money on that desk, and he keeps stealing it, and he will tell you that, I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
And he keeps doing it.
And you are the one causing it. You keep putting money there.
So that means you're aiding him.
You're aiding and abetting him. So why don't you stop dropping the money? Stop dropping the money first. So that by the time he wakes up in the morning to go there to take money, and he doesn't see money.
So what are you saying in a nutshell?
What I'm saying in a nutshell is that we need to have laws, punishment for crimes, and let the punishment be such that it will stop another person from doing the same thing.
So that means there must be strong punishment that should serve as a real deterrent to others.
Simple.
Oh, wow.
Simple. And we need to know, like, if anytime you say headsmen, we need to know these headsmen, how do they get their arms? These headsmen, I keep saying it, they've used cows as an excuse. Cow rustling as an excuse. So what stops the government from outlawing completely
open grazing?
Just
to stop the loss of human lives, the incessant loss of human lives.
You make it clear that anybody that has cows should go and rent a land or buy a land and build a ranch.
So that's that, because I'm asking, what is the economical value of cow to Nigeria instead, just the way we have natural minerals?
You're asking.
What's the economic value?
That's why your government woke up from sleep and started Ministry of Livestock.
So what value is it going to give to us?
And now I hear that
Jega is the SA on it.
So if you have a system that keeps pandering to, trying to please one section of the country
against others,
that's what you're having.
All right, because right now in Ondo State, Ondo people are already crying out. In fact, women came out protesting because of, that Ondo State is beginning to be worse now with some of these attacks. Scores of the women in Ondo today are trooped to the streets and the government house in Akure to protest against security challenges confronting the state, particularly the abduction of 9 surveyors, I think at Owode Ilu Abu in Akure North local government area of the state. They have been saying that they've been attacked. Remember the last time they even mentioned that herdsmen will not let them enter their farm. People went to farm the other day, they kidnapped them. So they've been complaining of different attacks. At this time now, they don't cry now. Waiting government supposed to now when they don't the shots, they cry. Remember saying, in fact, they want Supreme Court judgment where they cause trouble for Nigeria. Where one young man,
self-defense,
Fulani herdsman, one attacker, is finding way, collect the thing from the person's hand, kill the Fulani herdsman. Now, a Supreme Court of Nigeria is sentencing him to death for killing someone without noticing the fact that that young man would have died.
Well, the Supreme Court will come and tell you that.
So now when these people now use annoyance, retaliate this kind of thing, and they'll come sentence them to death, say, oh, they don't commit abomination. They're not supposed to do that.
The truth of the matter is that the security agencies are not helping issues in this country. And your level of trust for them is not what it used to be anymore. It's not, because nobody trusts the security agencies. Is it the police? Is it the army? Is it the Air Force? Because everybody is suffering the same economic hardship.
Everybody.
So now we're in a country where it is survival of the fittest.
Okay. So where do we go from here? Now, speaking about survival of the fittest, all know they well for some people we know feed 2 feet right now for Nigeria. As research has it that now a review of the 2024 budgets, the performance document by some news outlets, has shown that Bola Ahmed Tinubu led Nigerian government spent lowly on health, water, and the critical sectors in 2024. Now, this is according to details published on the government-owned open treasury portal. So nobody copy them. I didn't post them. Now, the data reveals that while the government budgeted 2.491 trillion naira for the Ministry of Water Resources in 2024, only 92.41 billion naira was given to that ministry. Billion. 92 points. It not even reach 100 billion. Okay? That is making just 3%, representing 3% of the amount that they budgeted. So now the remaining money where they allocate for that budget, they go withdraw them again. I'm coming on. Now, similarly, the Federal Ministry of Health recorded a budget performance below 50%. Out of the 2.2 trillion naira budgeted, only 923 billion naira was sent to them, amounting to 40.50% budget performance. That is the reason
I was watching.
And remember that health is supposed to be a priority.
I was watching a documentary this afternoon on NTA, where what's her name? Abike Dabiri was talking about the diasporians, and she
said, they all green, making it to the japa like that. Or say,
not only that,
some people they japa,
she was saying that a lot of Nigerian doctors, people are coming home to build hospitals, and that nobody should be saying that foreigners don't come to Nigeria for medical attention. And I try to look at it side by side, what we just saw now, and I ask myself, why is it that those in government find it difficult saying the truth?
That is indeed economical with the truth.
If they're being economical, it's understandable, but they don't say the truth at all. You and I don't know when last you went to any hospital, but you know that to run a comprehensive test in Nigeria today,
no good there.
It's cutthroat.
Depending on the level of comprehensive test
you want to run. Then two, also don't forget that the drugs themselves are
not affordable anymore.
Affordable
at all.
So then you ask yourself, when a president will tell the people, I remove subsidy to to protect unborn Nigerians.
Not be who their life go first. So not be who their life go first survive before they talk about born ones.
Now, person will get where their life go first get go find work, go get energy to marry, to get energy to back your wife.
Before now, can't get unborn Nigerians.
To get energy to carry and go hospital. The wife to get energy to push. The child to come out. The energy to buy food for the baby to grow. The energy to enroll the babies in primary and secondary and nursery school.
Before we get another generation to take care of.
So at what point? So why are you doing something for when you say unborn? Even the people who weren't born and never decided they weren't born.
All right, Nigerians, let's let you know that our phone lines are open. You can jump in on the conversation. There is a pinned post. You can just go straight to that pinned post. There is a link by the pinned post. Kindly follow the link by that pinned post, and it's to bring you directly to the house. You can just join us in the house here to bring you directly to the studio. So just you will teleport you, as a matter of fact, to the studio. So you can join us from inside the studio to make your contribution. And or you will call for WhatsApp for 0817-029-4077. 0817-029-4077. In case you're just joining us, let me run you through some things that we've discussed tonight. I did tell you just now that Senator Natasha Akpoti takes suspension harassment case to global parliamentary body. Let's see what the outcome will be. If Nigerian government will even board, sometimes they consign them. But speaking about Biafra and Nnamdi Kanu, no judge withdrew from Nnamdi Kanu's trial, Federal High Court, because the matter will still happen. And in 2027, we will align with coalition that guarantees Southeast automatic presidential ticket. Ohanaeze Ndigbo insists. Factional. Before I go say allegedly. When you talk English, you put allegedly for inside Nigeria. So speaking about Lagos State, Speakership Tsoho, why Obasa should resign. Lagos Indigenes is insist that Obasa must go. He's not from our state. Oh, make him resign. Make way for Miranda with our state. Speaking about Obasa now, there's an exclusive by People's Gazette about how Obasa fights Muji Miranda to return 5 billion naira withdrawn from Lagos Assembly Bank account days after she became speaker. People say, they say, oh, wait, this on another ploy to scatter her name because they been talk, so you collect money, so you want also show they not only you they corrupt because for Nigeria, not only one person.
But for me, it simply shows how fluid the account of the State Assembly is.
It didn't get there, he's blessed because it's just the common billions.
And it shows how anyone that is a speaker sends email and prayer
to other people's accounts, boxes. Oh, stop it! I like it. Okay, so still speaking about Natasha, I put it by the way. Mass protest disruptions, not solution to political issues. Our group warns against protesting in favor of Natasha. For Rivers matter, Fubara say, I go fully enforce Supreme Court ruling because my intention is to protect the interests of Rivers State people first before any other people interest, because now Rivers people now matter. The House of Reps is demanding immediate suspension of CBN's ATM charges hike. And people said, wait.
No. So let me join in something here. Okay. We're talking about ATM charges.
Yes.
Don't forget that the issue of what do you call them? Telecoms. Increasing their...
Yes, now.
You know, they increased it.
Yes.
But
by 50%. They can't later come talk saying only whether 30-something percent.
But they have not come down to that.
They never come down. Even the 50% is more than 50%. I almost want to beat my chest because what I pay for calls now is more than 2 of what I used to pay.
So we need to do something about it. While they have been able to stop it, the House of Assemblies too should be able to call, even though what's it calling, multi-choice DSTV, they should call them to order. They can't wake up from sleep and be increasing their prices arbitrarily.
But why would government wake up and also increase their own tariffs and other things? Is it not Band B and C now they want to increase? And how much do these people run their businesses with? That's another thing.
You know, the thing is, if you look at it, if the labor, in quotes, if we still have them, and the telecoms, and the people have agreed 30%, so why are they not implementing the 30%?
That's the question. That's the question. I'm not getting answers to that question, but moving on to other issues. Still House of Rep. House of Rep is saying, directing NCC to block all pornographic sites in Nigeria. Say, no, our people cannot spin.
At the same time, when they block it, all the parties being organized by honorable members and senators. And the nightclubs. Don't you forget what Natasha said about Senate President talking of organizing party for her.
For nightclub.
And all the nightclubs.
That nightclub team was not an accident.
Yeah, so they should all stop it as well.
Yeah,
and any of them, when we catch, when they do Kurukere Waka, make we call for their suspension.
Because everything is seen.
Everything
all sin equal before God. Oh, stop it. I like it. Okay. So moving on to other issues. In Enugu State, the landlord tenant bill scales second reading. So
I'm interested in this.
I'm very interested in that bill too.
And I hope that once it is, if I need to see the bill to read it and see how much protection it gives to the tenant. If it is better than the one that is happening in Lagos, we'll ask the governor of Lagos State and the Obasa-led House of Assembly to look into it. You know, since he's come back, he could look into it and, so that Lagosians will welcome him well.
So while they were debating it, they are saying that that there's a lot of exploitation that ranges from exorbitant legal fees, agency fees, caution fees, and caretakers wine, and adding that these charges have made it difficult for many people to afford accommodation.
Do you know how much a 2-bedroom is going for in Lagos now?
Oh, wow.
It's about 2.5 million.
I don't agree, God forbid. Really?
Well, I'm telling you.
Why so high?
It's about 2.5 million.
Yearly?
Yes. And then you will now be asked to pay 10% agency, 10% legal, and maybe another, say, 100 or 200,000. It's the name they call that one.
Caution fee.
Caution fee.
Which you never get back, by the way. You never get
Which landlord
because they must tell you that something.
Which landlord? Even if you didn't want pack come out, you paint the house. Landlord go on there and say, "Then paint here that blue day before."
You paint and white. The white paint and white. All right. So moving on to other issues very quickly. I did tell you that Nigeria was hit in West Africa after recording 913 deaths from terror attacks in January
Are we
alone.
talking only of terror? Or are we talking
terror
about
attack?
Yeah,
terror attack alone.
When we talk of
913.
terror, are we talking of the attack of the bandits?
Nah, that one, bandits are not terrorists. So that bandits.
So if we're talking about that, then
so bandits are Boko Haram.
this figure is even small because of we know what has been playing out in this
country. So you think it's underreported?
Yes, it is highly
for 1 month though.
It is highly underreported.
But even if it's underreported, it's too much.
See, the point is this: what is the government itself doing? This is a country where you saw governor and government officials sitting down with terrorists to negotiate. And they said that, oh, they have given up. We have dropped our arms. You people should come back. And I asked myself, in that meeting, are these guys not supposed to be arrested? Are they not supposed to be brought in for questioning? And you see, all of them came to that meeting with their guns, armed to the tooth. So there's something fundamentally wrong.
Okay. All right. So moving on to other issues, I also did tell you that Ondo State women are complaining and protesting against the growing insecurity as kidnappers seize 9 surveyors on site. And then I did tell you that Tinubu's government was only able to pay 40% of 2.2 trillion health sector budget as Nigerians grapple with outbreaks, poor facilities, and of course, inability to treat themselves. Well, let me quickly take some reactions. Prince Francis, thank you so much so that I can release you. Oh wow, also Biafra says, also Biafra, you and this your message every minute, eh? Okay, oh, free MNK. Now, John Terry says, my precious Prince Chilaka. Sir, how are you? And then you said, oh, we love this show. Stop it, I like it. We love you too. And who's this? Sam Donald says, they are scared of MNK because they know when he is released, he will sue Nigerian government, sue the British government, sue Kenyan government, and then so for pain and suffering, and sue again for pain and suffering. That's why that they don't want to release him. So there was also a statement that was credited to the former judge that handled his case. That is Justice Binta Yanko, that said MNK is a very intelligent man, and that it's very difficult to handle his case because if you don't need, very sound knowledge of the law, you know, go fit handle them and persecute them successfully.
You know what happens with any freedom fighter is that once they start, they begin to read. They begin to look for the loopholes in the things you're using to hold the people down. So it's expected.
All right. Okay. So John Terry here says release MNK now. And who then again? Osa says sometimes if you look at the way Nigeria rules are running things, our rulers are running things, it's shy. I cry big time. I cry more than you, honestly. And that's why I discuss this almost every day. And he says we haven't even built the necessary infrastructure to support economic growth. Even basic road construction feels as complicated as advanced mathematics. Ew! Some David says the only true leader that Igbo people have in this is the one that is being held hostage. And the man is MNK. That's why they are still holding him. Once he's released, the leaders will go to sleep. Hey, is that what you think? Was he not in captivity? Was it Igbo land El Dorado? How can economy grow without something as basic as road network? If you ask me, I don't even know what to say. If you ask me, I will ask. Madam Precious and Prince Chilak, I salute now. You guys are doing great job. Thank you, Nika. Thank you. Wasiu Jinadu says, so what's the use of the new livestock ministry while Fulani headsmen clash persist? That is clash you meant to say persist. What's in the livestock ministry can they do?
Well, maybe now that it has an SA, maybe they'll consider the building of ranches. But then, even if they're going to consider that, the government must remove its hands from it. Okay.
John Terry says, Omahi, they work for who? For Southeast too. They said Omahi is working in the Southeast. Okay, and Emenike Oliver says Fulani headsmen are just business between the fools in the north and other prominent idiots from other parts of the country. I don't get this.
I get what he's saying.
Or is I try to get what he said, but I don't really want to get it. Where is Gina just says what now? Cow na citizens debates. Cows na citizens debates crash in house of assembly in okay crash in house of assembly. Okay, David Max. I think you're trying to talk about that thing that happened once. Okay. Ademola says that Nigeria and Nigerians are not honestly ready to for self-independent or self-independent being. Time will tell. Who told you we're not ready? Nigerians are ready. And then Precious, my baby. Oh, Reality News TV. Hey, wait. How are you? My manchi, and then there's nothing like headsmen, it's the government. Oh wow. All right, so I see quite all of your reactions here, quite a number of them, and I appreciate you a lot. CY says Precious and Prince, good evening to you. And then okay, so we're supposed to be here, so we're still trying to have a stable time, but would let you, and that's why I haven't started doing publicity on this yet. So between 5:30 6 p.m. every day, we're trying to have a very stable time because of the availability of my guests. It's not so easy having to either bring them to my studio or them joining me virtually, understanding that they also have every other thing they're doing, and this is pro bono work that they're doing. So don't worry, we'll get there very soon. Prince Francis Chilaka, I'd like to say thank you so much. As you make out your time and energy to follow us to talk about Nigerian matter. I appreciate you, Victor. No problem. Thank you so much. So thank you to everyone who's been part of the show. I love you guys and I appreciate you for your contribution to what we're doing. We would continue to speak for the development of our country. And this won't stop, because I used to say, and I'll keep saying, that the day we'll stop talking is the day we'll start dying. I love when I scatter. I go see you now on the other side. My name is Precious Inyi. Have a good night, rest. Thank you for joining us.